Dear friends and followers, welcome back to my channel and lovely greetings from the rescue helipad in Ulm, situated in the southern part of Germany. In today's video, we'll dive into the operation of this beautiful rescue helicopter. We'll take you along an actual emergency and much more. Hang on to your hats and let's start up this stunning aircraft. Here we go. A burn victim not too far away. Helicopter is going to be moved out on its drivetrain, its platform. That's the assistant coming in. They've already made the decision to which hospital we'll be flying. Here's Jens driving out the platform now, and it's time for me to get on board. Oh boy, let's go. All right. Starting her up. Let's go. Ran to the patient. She had burning scars on her left hand. This is stuff I don't want to show on my channel, obviously, so stay away from that. Our emergency response doctor immediately jumped in. He did his thing. It was super hectic. He was incredibly calm. It was really amazing. Paramedic came with their van as well, and then we decided it is now closer to a hospital that they can drive her there to, and so they are taking her there now, rather than flying her out. Our doctor's now going to stay with her, and then we're going to fly to the hospital, pick him up, and then go back to the main station. It's always just so quick. The way these people deal with these situations, it's absolutely remarkable. It's impressive, that's what it is. But I'm more on the pilot side. So, and I'm going to have to be carrying this load back to the helicopter. That's what they're using me for now. But I'm totally fine with that. So the boys are wrapping up. This is actually where the assistant is sitting. So more or less the co-pilot of Jens is sitting on the left-hand seat, and Jens is in the right-hand seat. That is actually a difference in pilot in command in a helicopter is on the right-hand seat. Different to airliners, just so you know. This is undescribable, absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed how smooth the flight is. I was expecting it to be really like vibrating and turbulent, but it's really calm, and Jens is just an amazing pilot. But it's also really cool to see how much communication there's going on just prior to landing. That technical advisor, Hannes tells him, look, okay, watch out for this light pole here, watch out for those power lines there, and there's so much that is involved in just deciding on where to land. So impressive. I am mind-boggled. This is one of the coolest experiences ever. Really, really good. Other people are walking their dog. I am walking this helicopter into its hangar. Okay guys, we might have a short break of 30 minutes, or maybe the alarm will go off in the next couple of seconds. So I do want to touch up on this type of operation before we head out again. In my opinion, it is a very special type of operation, especially in terms of weather. Now, I wasn't aware that rescue helicopters are only supposed to fly in VMC conditions, meaning a certain weather criteria has to be met in order to be operational for their area. Sure, the helicopter and the pilot are IFR equipped and certified to fly in a bad weather, but two of the limiting factors are the visibility at the emergency case. Now, the pilot never really knows where he's going to land. He or she therefore performs 1 or 2 circles around the possible landing location to ensure it is free of obstacles and especially of loose parts that could get sort of tossed up into the air and get caught by the tail or main rotor. So having good visibility at the unknown destination is one determining factor. Secondly, rescue helicopters have no means of de-icing equipment. So for example, there are no heated engine inlets or electrically heated leading edges of the rotor blades or the windshield heating. And it's partly a weight and or performance issue that restricts these helicopters from coming with such de-icing systems. Now, due to that, the pilots brief the crew every 2 hours on the current weather situation and possible threats. For me, it was incredibly interesting to see how well informed the pilot is about the local weather, sort of in a radius of 50 nautical miles, and potential forecast, which is completely different to the airline operation. We are more or less concerned about the weather at the destination and at our arrival time, and if we have to take some extra fuel if we may encounter some weather en route. We also checked the Notams together, and I remember always sort of being cringing about helipads that were closed. I mean, what do I care about a closed helipad, because I couldn't land with my 747 on it anyways. But for their operation, it is critical for the doctor to know if some of the hospital helipads are closed and a diversion to another hospital needs to be considered. Fantastic. So this is a huge learning for me on how the operation sort of differs to the airlines. Okay, we just performed a really cool night landing. Now you can't really see this here due to the camera, but we're actually on a sports field, a football pitch. We were guided in by the fire brigade who were at the scene already, and now this is actually prime real estate for a helicopter to land on a football ground because there's just like so much space. But it's a little surreal to me because the helicopter is now sitting there by itself in the dark, and we're just waiting for the emergency response doctor to come back with the patient and heading out. So yeah, me and Jens are waiting here in the middle of the dark. Now, this is also a really cool feature that Jens is wearing. This tiny little light is actually helping him when he's wearing the night vision goggles, when he's flicking switches on the overhead panel, for example, that he's actually pointing to the right switch. It's just a very dim light, so the sensitive night vision goggles don't get blind, or he doesn't get blinded with the night vision goggles. Fantastic. As we departed, it got quiet among the crew, as everyone was slightly in shock that the patient had died on the scene. I was devastated, but it was incredible to see how the crew dealt with the situation and carried on. I have tremendous respect for the entire team on how they remain professional and have control over their emotions and continue on to the next call.
Now, another thing that completely changed my understanding of helicopters. Now, you would think that the huge advantage of a helicopter towards a fixed-wing aircraft is the vertical takeoff and landing capability. Sure, this is a maneuver every helicopter can do, but we did more than 12 takeoff and landings in the last 2 days, and only the ones here at the main base went vertically up and down. All others were either a rearward takeoff because there was an obstacle right ahead of us, and this also allows the pilot to immediately land the aircraft again if he had an engine failure, with forward visibility given towards the landing spot he just took off from. And all outward landings at the emergency call were a steep approach angle at a safe forward speed. Now, the main reason therefore is forward visibility and obstacle clearance. The pilot has his landing spot in sight and then gradually descends while maintaining a forward motion towards the touchdown point, whilst constantly checking the surroundings. This especially applies during night landings. The pilot's technical assistant will use the outboard searchlight and then light up the landing pad in question and then carefully drift down towards the touchdown point. A straight downward vertical landing would be way too risky as the pilot can't see what's below him. Also, the drift down approach and landing uses less power and creates less of a downwash, which could be hazardous if loose obstacles are in the vicinity. I got so hooked by just these few maneuvers, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what these helicopters are capable of. I'm telling you, I have a whole new appreciation for these flying marvels. Jens has given me the great opportunity that I can refuel his stunning Airbus helicopter. So this is a lifelong dream of mine, to refuel a helicopter. So here we go. The ground. Ha! Look at me.
Like a regular fuel pump.
It's like a regular fuel pump. Yeah, cool.
Maybe.
Okay, here we go. Do the rest of it as well.
Use every drop of it.
The last drop of it. Yeah, that's it first. Okay. Here we go. I am absolutely loving it. These are also among the pilot duties. Jens has to clean the hangar before the helicopter makes its presence or is being pushed back into its into its home. I'm loving it. This camaraderie is just absolutely amazing, and how much they take care of the helicopter. They even have to wash their own helicopter. It's really cool. This operation is one of a kind. This type of flying operation is absolutely mind-blowing to me. The pilot has to fly to the emergency location as quickly as possible and find a suitable place to land. Then the medical team takes over whilst the pilot prepares the flight to the desired hospital. Once the patient is loaded, the time is running yet again, and he or she needs to be flown to the destination at high speed, as a life could be at stake. It's the combination of speed, precision, timely decision making and good teamwork to professionally execute every emergency call. I'm completely done for after these 2 days of pure adrenaline rush every 30 minutes, and I didn't even have to fly this thing. I was the dummy holding the camera. Flying a 747 is a little more relaxed than flying this Airbus helicopter, I can promise you that. Sadly, this brings us to the end of this great video. I hope there was some insightful takeaways for you in these last 12 minutes. And if you want to learn more about how to become a rescue helicopter pilot, Jens and I uploaded another video, the link is right here, in which we answer all your questions. A massive thank you to the Christoph 22 team here at their base in Ulm and the ADAC Luftrettung for making this video possible. I couldn't have done it without you. I hope you never become a passenger that is being loaded into the back of this helicopter. But if you do, it's reassuring that the ADAC rescue helicopter fleet and their medical teams are there for you. And on that bombshell, here's your checklist for today. Subscribe to my channel, check. Activate the notification bell, check. Follow my Instagram account, check. Perform a touch and go at my website, check. And don't forget, a good pilot, either fixed wing or rotary wing, is always learning. Wishing you all the best, your Captain Joe.